All right, people. So I wanted to do an update. I usually don't do two lives in a day, but I wanted to kind of just show you exactly what I've just told you has happened to the T. All right. So I hope you guys got into some trades. All right. I took a bit of time. I got stopped out, but to re-enter on the accounts that I can re-enter on safely. And yeah, so far so good. The market has come back to give us what we need. Now that Judas swing that happened before the news was pretty cheeky, but nonetheless, it's okay. I think I got the Federal Reserve thing playing in the background, so give me a second. Let me pause that and get rid of that quickly. All right. Now you might be able to hear me twice if you do, because I didn't mute the thing, but I'm going for it anyway. I'm gonna start and get things going and just go through the analysis I've got going on. All right, so I'm trying to do as much time with you guys as possible and spend the time to show you what's going on, you know, analysis wise, you know. All right. So anyway, let's have a look at what I was talking about. So again, starting from the D1 time frame, or I'll go over here to the D1. Do you remember what I got you remember what I was saying, guys, that we have this area here, this was of interest right here. We have this demand flip zone situation here, which I call a validation point on this line right here too, or FVG here. And this demand zone was acting as a supply zone. And as you can see, the price is broken beneath, return to the other side and filled out this fair value gap right here, and then proceeded to go for a short. Now, I knew the price was going to go for a short. All right. This is why you start like AUD USD. It's gone long from where I said it would do. And you can see it's actually pretty strong, the move right now. NZD USD has decided not to come back for the lows. As you can see, it's going long. USD CAD is selling off just like I said. All right. Everything is working out exactly as I was expecting it to. All right. So I'm actually very happy with what's going on in the markets. Pretty good trades happening right now as we speak. And we should have this kind of sell-off for one more day. All right. I believe the price needs to get to some specific areas, which I wanted to show you. All right. But I just wanted you guys to see my trade calls and the accuracy of them so that you have confidence to know that I know what I'm talking about. All right. So where are we right now? So if I go back, I've got a lot of dollar index charts. So if you get confused, literally sometimes so am I, because I don't know which one is which, but we'll start from here. So if we keep on going now, I'm going to keep the same area. I'm going to get rid of these lines because we don't need it. Well, I will keep this line here to represent the FVG/D1 validation point. Now, remember the targets I have for this next leg of movement is for the price to get down to this order block here. Now, first things first, I'll say before I move to lower time frames here, we'll just keep this right as it is and keep this here. You know what, let me get a brighter color. Maybe that might, actually, this is all right. But anyway, the key thing is that over here, all right, the reaction we're looking for has happened perfectly, right? And now that the price is broken beneath, come to the other side, my expectations is the next target is 101, all right? So we have about, from the current price, about, let's just call it 70 pips rounded off until where I'll be looking to come out. Now, this looks like it'll probably take about a day or two to happen. Now, right, the US session closes at 9. So, of course, more liquidity could come in and do the job. Okay, the London session will be closing in about 14 minutes or an hour and 14 minutes, either 4 or 5 o'clock. All right, so at that point, in my mind, there's not too much to look at. Okay, so I do think this will continue tomorrow. Now, I'm pretty confident the price will continue tomorrow. What I would say, though, is that if today the wick of the candle closes beneath this low here, then we might have a pullback tomorrow for re-entries, which is also a situation that can happen. And that's not bad at all. If that does happen, that is part of the game. You know, the price would have to do something like that anyway, so that re-entries can come in. If the price doesn't do that, that's not an issue either. It just means that we'll just hang on to our trades, right? Okay. Now, I couldn't take trades on every single account because I'm trying to manage the risk, but I did manage to get back in onto the bottom of most of these trends because they stopped me out by quite a bit, which was pretty annoying. think gold was the worst. It was just too many pips away from in stop out. So not in a bad way, but I mean, as in it spiked quite a bit. All right. And I didn't spend the time to analyze the wicks to work out which low, how far the low would go beneath the monthly low, but it's okay anyway. Stuff like that can happen, but it's more about just staying focused on what the plan is. So the plan is anyway, we're sticking to the price going short. I'm sure today should give us a little bit more of a move. I am really hoping that all of the opens of these candles get closed beneath by this candle today, and then we just continue into tomorrow. I think this move should last until Friday, or maybe the price will get here and by Friday will start to dwindle a bit. Then we start off the new week with a long. Okay. Now with USD CAD, I wanted to pay attention to this. Now USD CAD, I should have never closed my position because this was the entry that I had right here, and I should have just held on to it. But that's okay. The main trade I'm actually looking at with USD CAD is I want to see the price actually get into here. And right now, from current price, okay, down to my target is about 80 pips away. Now, I know there's a little bit of a gap between the open of this candle and the close of the candle underneath, or the candle to the left after that. Now, if the price chooses to close that gap, then we may even get a little bit lower, but sticking within this range for now, I expect the price to get here, okay? So if I see, and this is something you want to look at too, if this week, right, the price gets somewhere down here, right, this week, and the dollar index gets down here, I wouldn't take a buy straight away though, because this is the weekly time frame, and for the price to really give a reversal of the magnitude we're looking for, we're going to need a weekly kind of reaction. So over here, we've got an induction of the low before, so type 1, as I call it, and type 2, all right, beneath these lows here, all right? So these two moments here, or these two areas here where the price has taken the low here, was the reason why we had such a strong bullish run straight after, okay? Now, in order for the market to have interest in doing something like that, to me, there are a lot of, first of all, obvious reasons why the price should go long. Just, looking at this area here, we have a price gap, okay? Not in the same way where there's no trading whatsoever, but the close of this candle and the open of this candle have a difference between them. So it's not really efficient price action there, but that can be filled out. Have the same thing the week after. So there's a lot of inefficiency on the way down. And this is because I believe the market is really trying to drive down to this target. So in order for the price to initiate a long, we're going to need a weekly induction, right? We need the price to take some low. So when the price gets in here, don't react and just go for a long straight away. Even if on the daily time frame, the price does a daily version of this kind of move down here, still don't go for a long yet. My moment of taking an entry would be, of course, when the dollar index aligns, but also if I see, a weekly low taken, like we've had some of the weekly low reactions here that produce longs. If we have a reaction like this, then I'll be looking for my entry, right? Straight down to the 5 minute, find out what price is doing with that and just take it from there. So this is really what I would say, okay, people, that this is the main way I'm looking to get into positions, right? So I expect another day of selling. So when Jerome Powell does his second day, I think that's probably going to be where the heavy hitting comes in, all right? This is my idea with USD. Now, USD CHF, on the other hand, okay, is pulling back down, but I don't think the USD CHF has that much I would say too much to go to in terms of how far it can go. I do think that the price is going to take the low of the previous week and maybe even descend a bit further and come back to entry down here, which would be amazing, which means the price is given a second opportunity to get in for a short. But it really does depend though, because of course, out of all the pairs, I'll say USD CHF is up there with the ones that have recovered, right? Now, USD CHF over here, this low represents the low of last week. And that may be all that USD CHF does. The price may slow itself down and just wait until, the dollar index has reached target, which is down here, and then decide that, okay, time for reversal. Another thing that will, I guess, benefit USD CHF or not benefit it, it depends, is that we have Swiss franc interest rate news, I believe, tomorrow. Today is Wednesday, so Thursday, yeah, we have US dollar interest rate news. All right. And this is the key here that I am looking at when it comes to the price. So I want us to all pay attention to that, because really and truly that is going to be our major looking point when it comes to what to look for in the market. So be prepared for that, guys. I think right now the market is still trying to find itself. There was major inductions and manipulations that have gone on, which is not surprising at all. I knew the price will do something like that. But now we just want to be prepared to, get our trades going. So this is really the outlook. I just really wanted to share this moment with you guys of my trading so that you can see the accuracy. So there's a before and after, literally, of what I just said. And you can see it's happened exactly as I've said it. So, all right. We'll be watching. I will be watching as well. I'll be live, as I said, every day, 2:30. This is just an extra one I'm putting on top, but I'll be live every day. What I'll do, let me just go over here. I'm going to go back to this monthly diagram to show you where I am. Now, I'm still bullish on the dollar because inflation is not going to calm down. And the rate hike pause that we've had from the Federal Reserve is a pause. It's not the end. All right. I don't think interest rates are going to start reversing until 2024, 2025 times. All right. But in the meantime, if we go back to the monthly time frame for the dollar index to have a quick recap, starting from the last major inductive move, which was a stop hunt of the previous year, right? 2020 into 2021 right here. I've used this to kind of map the range. This is the last major impulse move for many, many years on the bullish side. The last major one was back in 2014, but this is actually the largest one we've had for about 20 years. So it's a massive movement taking place here. Now, for me, if I just go back over here on the monthly, now there's something I call price contextuality. That means that the higher the time frame, the stronger the influence that price has over a certain move. So right now, for example, over here, we have a monthly, validation point, or FVG on the monthly, and 116.781, and the price hasn't come back to fill that. When the price came back here, all right, as you've probably always heard me say that there was no supply liquidity on the left. But over here, you'll see that the reason why the price reversed from here is because it came to the first major FVG, right? Over here. Now, there's still one more higher up, that the price hasn't reached to just yet. So even though this bullish trend has taken a downturn, all right, it will be pulling back up very soon. Now, looking at the range here, at the moment, the price has been hanging around equilibrium for a long time. I don't personally believe the price is going to go to an OTE move, but if it does, that's okay. But the major supply zone here, which has become demand, is from 2017 till now, where the price is broken above and returned, and the price has not been able to close beneath it. I guess I'll only change my buyer's view if the body of a monthly candle closes strongly beneath this area. Then I'll be looking for lower dollar prices or dollar index strength, right? But at the moment, the price is held up here pretty well. And that's why I'm saying that I'm not going to be holding the short side of the dollar for too long. I think this is just a natural pullback. All right. So if I use this whole mapping that I've set out for you guys, and I just draw this over here, then it'll make sense why I'm saying that I'm looking for targets as close and as early as here. Now, if the price decides it wants to come for these lows, I don't mind. But I'm just going to draw a daily demand zone that is a key area that I'm looking at. If I draw this daily demand zone, it'll help you out to see what I'm looking at. Maybe I should change the color to be something like a deeper blue, so that might help you, or pink, to help you visualize. Yep. So if you look at this, right, the price took off for a very good impulse swing to the left here. But when it came back down, it didn't return to demand. It actually just came to or nearby FVG on the daily time frame here. Closed beneath it slightly, but I think that's a price feed issue. Probably this is a wick, but it's reading as a body. Doesn't matter anyway. So the price took off for several months, all right, without feeling the efficiency, because price should have returned to demand before launching off for a long, because that would have been efficient price action. Because if you go to the lower down demand zone here, right, the price did a similar thing, and now it's gone on for a long. So that's that aspect. So now that the price is taken off here, on the return here, we had a sharp move back down in here, 2023, then we had a long. And then this was the time where I said to you that we're not done yet with the dollar. We need a pullback, and we had one, which is when the price took this high right here. Okay, now I believe it did leave the other high behind, or was made equal highs with it. We can actually verify that quickly. So this high right here is 105.482. And this is 105. 497. So it actually did take the high just by maybe a pip or so. It's hard to see, but just about took these highs. So all these highs have been cleared out. Any liquidity buy stocks have been cleared out. The price pushed down short. All right, we had this movement. This is where I gave the call to start buying the dollar, sprang up for the first move, and now we've come back down. So this is why, again, I'm not really expecting the dollar index to take any lows. If it does, it's an extra added bonus, but I really don't see the reason why the dollar will do it. This is quite a highly congested zone. So for me, I think that the price, all of these lows right here, I think they're quite well defended. So this order block here, which is the last bit of this liquidity void on the dollar index, is where I'm looking for price to go, which is why I derived that my targets really are here. And looking at dollar pairs like USD CAD, USD CHF, they're pretty close to targets to go for the next wave of longs. All right. Now to the left, there's many reasons why I know the price will go long. We've got inefficiency here, right? No return to supply. We've got inefficiencies over here as well. All right. These highs are practically equal up here at 113. And of course, if I go back to the monthly now, you'll see that this 116 level is a major FVG monthly demand or validation point that hasn't been reached yet. So when I talk you through this short-term short we're having is not forever. All right. So I still think that the price is definitely going to produce a long. And so it'll be better to put yourself in a position to grab the opportunity to keep on selling just until the market gives us, the clear. So please keep that in mind. Looking at the markets and trading, you should be very good to know. It would be very good for you to know in advance what you're doing so that you can actually take advantage of all the movement. So yeah, guys, that's really my that's my view. Okay. You guys hopefully should be, all in your positions here. And hopefully, you're going to take advantage of what the market has to offer for you without having to over risk or go crazy. All right. Even though it's been a bit of a crazy time, you should be good to go with your positions there. So yeah, that's my view, guys. And I hope you guys enjoyed that. I didn't want to stay too long, and I'll catch you all later. So everybody take care and have